I am back with days 51 to 57 of my 100-day project. My name is Claire Cousins and I'm a printmaker, mixed media artist and teacher based in the UK. So for my 100-day project this year, I have been exploring textures on the gel plate. So one texture each day. And this week's theme is text, typography. I love typography. I'm a graphic designer. So I'm going to look at different ways we can create textures with type on the gel plate. If you'd like to get onto my newsletter to get regular updates of workshops, freebies, all that type of thing, the link is in the description if you'd like to sign up to the newsletter. So here I am starting. These are kids' foam alphabet shapes and I've just glued them. You can see it's got sea brights on the back. It's a back of a sketchbook. So just a heavyweight cardboard and I've glued those foam shapes onto the cardboard and I'm using it like a stamp. I've started with a deep cobalt violet and laid a thin layer, stamped the text on and then let that layer completely dry before using a small amount of the yellow ochre to transfer this in to my sketchbook. So if you're just catching, this is a first instalment of my project. I've got my 6-inch gel plate just placed on a piece of Perspex and you can see there I'm just flipping it over to print directly into my sketchbook. And this is an 8-inch or 20 centimetre square sketchbook from Daler and Rowney. After giving it a good rub to make good contact with the gel plate, I'm then pulling the print and we can see that's worked really well. So next I'm starting with a really thin layer of Payne's Grey on my gel plate and I've got these really old cookie cutters. I've never actually baked any cookies with these in my life and they leave like a really thin line. They're not very bold, they just leave quite a thin line, but they seem to be quite effective. So I'm just taking random letters, overlapping them. So I'm thinking of them more as shapes rather than letters and looking at those shapes and how those shapes slot together and overlap. I'm letting this layer completely dry on my gel plate and then I'm going to use this opaque pink and apply a thin layer as my pickup layer to transfer it into my sketchbook. So the first print was in real time and I've just sped this second one up just a touch, just to show you the full process. And you can see when I pull this print, I quite like the effect. It kind of looks almost like a neon signage, like a neon writing. But I'm going to try using these in a slightly different way to create something a little bit bolder. So I'm starting with the deep cobalt violet again, just a pea-sized amount, and spreading that evenly across my gel plate. And at the bottom left hand of the screen, you will just see like an almost like a small brick shape. And this will come into camera in full view in a minute. There we go. So what I've done here, this is moldable foam. So what you do with moldable foam is you use a heat gun and you heat the surface of it. And then you compress things into it. So I've done this many times before with natural forms and things, but what I did is I pressed those cookie cutters into it. So what you can see now is it's creating a much more bolder shape from those cookie cutters. And I've done it on both sides of the moldable foam, so I've got like 2 different ones. Really, I'd need a bigger piece of moldable foam for the size of this particular cookie cutter. But it does give quite an interesting abstract shapes for the text. I'm applying a thin layer of the turquoise as my pickup layer to transfer this directly into the sketchbook. I'm turning the page over and giving it a really good rub to make good contact before pulling back the print from the gel plate. And then you can see that worked out really well. I quite like that idea, and I will probably look experimenting with that a little bit further. So next I'm starting with the very thin layer of Payne's Grey. And this is something I'd seen the fabulous Mark Yates from Yates Makes do quite some time ago, and he uses Letraset. Well, mine is in a safe place somewhere, so safe I can't find it, but you know I'll find it in the future somewhere. But I did find these little stickers that stick on letters like you use for card making, and I just picked some of them off and placed them on a piece of paper. Now, it's only a very small square because, to be honest, I got so bored doing it. The idea of doing a full 6-inch square, but it works. It does work really well. So what's happening is the metallic sticker is resisting the paint on the gel plate, and that's what's leaving the tacks behind. I'm following the same process each time, so I've let this layer dry, and then I'm using the opaque pink as my pickup layer, just to applying a thin layer before transferring it straight into my sketchbook. Again, you'll see as I pull the print from the paper from the gel plate, that's worked really well. The letters are very small, and yeah, as it is, not so great, but I think this technique's got a lot of potential to explore. So I'm starting again with my Cobalt Deep Violet, just again another thin layer across a gel plate. And this time, what I decided, so those letters were so small and I just found it really boring to place them on a piece of paper, but I thought, what about if I used the negative? So what I've done here is I've peeled the negative off the sheet of labels, placed this onto a piece of paper, and then using this to resist the paint. Again, I think there could be a lot of potential with this. It almost gives, again, it's not really obvious it's type. It almost gives like a circuit board type of effect because it's so small, but it works really nicely, I think. So again, let that dry. So following the same process, let that first layer dry completely before using yellow ochre as my pickup layer. And following the same process, so just pressing it down firmly into the sketchbook, flipping it over, good rub to make good contact before pulling the paper away from the gel plate. And again, I think that's worked really well. Probably the pickup layer was a little bit thin, it's got some white patches there, but overall effect has worked quite well. So I'm starting with a small blob of the Payne's Grey again. What I'm doing there is I'm just rubbing some dry paint. Sometimes the dry paint off the top of the lid catches on the gel plate, leaves a little bit of a crusty mark. So I just tend to rub it in if it's on the bottom layer. So my jelly printing friend, Diana from Crooked Little Studio, has these really big, quite big, large letters, and I'm very jealous of them. And then I remembered both my children have moved out, and I remember seeing in cupboards as they're digging through these wooden letters that they'd obviously had in the letters of their name that you decorate to put up in your bedroom. But I thought, I wonder if these would work on the gel plate. So these are quite large. They're actually 6-inch because they're taking up the whole of the plate. So again, we're going to get quite abstract shapes from them. But again, on a larger plate, I think they'll work even better. So because the letters are so large and they've left like really big windows, I've decided to put a layer of the opaque pink down, and then I'm going to use the letters again. Now the danger with doing this is that may pick up some of the paint grey as well, because wet paint will reactivate dry paint and lift it off. So I'm trying not to press it too hard because I really only want to pick up the pink, but we'll see how it goes. So I've let this completely dry again, and now I'm using turquoise for my pickup layer. So just spreading an even thin layer of the turquoise before placing this straight into my sketchbook. I'm pressing this down firmly to make good connection with the page before flipping it over and giving it a good rub to make sure it's made good contact with the gel plate. And you can see as I'm pulling the sketchbook page back from the gel plate, I was really happy with this print. I thought it worked really well, and I just really looking forward to getting those letters on a bigger gel plate and really having a play. So again, starting with a thin layer of that Cobalt Deep Violet. And in the other child's bedroom, I remembered they had a set of letters, but theirs were made out of polystyrene. So I thought I would try those as well, and see what kind of texture they created. I don't think they're anywhere near leaving a sharper edge as the wooden letters did on the previous print, but this has got more texture to it because it's picking up the grain of the polystyrene, which works quite well. And they're also just a little bit smaller as well, which helps. You can see the letter K is broken, but I'm not letting that stop me. I'm just going to piece it back together and maybe glue it back together at a later date. Again, let that completely dry, and then I'm adding a layer of turquoise. And then I'm going to repeat the same process again and use the letters again, rotating them. Again, like I said on the previous one, trying not to press too hard so I don't disturb that original layer, to see if I can create some more detail. So once again, I've let that layer completely dry, and it is important when you're working in this way with this technique that you do let your layers dry fully in between. You could use a cool hair dryer to speed up the process. I just wouldn't use a heat gun or a hot air dryer in case it melts your plate. I'm using yellow ochre as my pickup layer. This is probably a bit of a mistake. There's not enough contrast and it all becomes a little bit dark and muddy, but the actual polystyrene letters did actually work quite well. But it was just the colour choices are wrong for this type of layered print. I rushed this one a little bit at the end as well. I should have left that to sit on the gel plate a bit longer because you can see it's leaving paint behind on the gel plate. So let's have a look at the prints we've got. So this was the foam shapes mounted on the cardboard to create like a stamp, which worked really well. These was the cookie cutters, can't say that. Again, using them in different ways. So that's using the cookie cutter straight onto the gel plate, but this other print was using them to press into the moldable foam. That you can reheat and use it as many times as you want, so that's really good. These were the little labels, the little stickers, and they just come on a sheet like that, mainly used for card making really. Again, very small, but using as a resist technique worked quite well. This was the negative, so peeling back the shapes from around those letters on the labels. Again, that worked really well as a resist technique. I did try doing a rubbing of that as well, but that didn't work. It's just the letters were too small, but I'll go back to doing some rubbings. I do think it will work. So sorry, the wooden letters there, and then finally with the polystyrene letters. So I hope you've enjoyed this week of my 100-day project, Experiment with Type. This has sparked a lot of ideas off for me this week that I could use in some larger multi-scale prints. So I've had a really enjoyable week and I hope to see you next time. Take care, bye.